There she go.
She is.
See, Dahlia, they was just getting ready to take me to the death chamber right there because you were taking too long to get on and stuff like that, you know. So, but you did give me grounds for appeal. Thank you very much.
My apologies in advance because I forgot to warn you about my co-host.
What? Okay.
Not a problem.
So we welcome attorney. See, Jennifer tried to tell you what an attorney. See, when you was taking my case, my death row case, I knew you was an attorney. Okay. Then you decided why you was an attorney. Oh, let me become an estate planner now, and you're just gonna leave me on death row and nobody get me.
So if you're on death row, I can take care of your family. So
Oh,
that
no.
your assets can go to that. So I can still help you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very welcome, Mr. Brown.
Okay, so Attorney Dahlia has been practicing law in South Florida since 2011. She is a graduate of NSU Shepherd Broad College of Law in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and is licensed in both Florida and New Jersey. She represents gangsters like me. New Jersey, I'm just saying, okay. The focus of her practice is estate planning. Who knew gangsters needed estate planning?
Everybody.
Do.
Yes, everybody.
Sure. Yes.
Now, Dahlia started as an engineer major, inspired by her father, who is an engineer. Now, when I hear engineer, I hear anal. I'm just saying, okay. So then she met a wonderful man, now her husband, who is a personal injury lawyer. What I heard was ambulance chaser. I'm just saying, okay. What?
Yeah, crazy.
Okay. And opened her eyes to a different field. She switched majors and graduated with a business degree, eventually became her husband's office manager, but she felt that something is still missing, okay? Dahlia wanted to do more in life and decided to go to law school. It was the greatest decision that she did because she found her calling, okay? So she loves being an estate planning attorney, working to better the lives of her clients, and securing their tomorrow. Welcome our specialist, Dahlia Anise, attorney extraordinaire. Don't let her handle your death row case, whatever you do, okay? You know, don't do that part. But, you know, if you want her to protect your family and her assets in the future, Dahlia is the one. But if you're trying to get you off death row, and see, I was innocent. It's not going to happen. See, I was innocent.
You can go to my son for that. My son does criminal law. So.
See, there you go.
Oh, family attorney. Okay.
The whole family attorney right there. See,
he can take care of you there.
Yeah, see, the whole thing is, you got a house full of attorneys, I just turn around, back my car out the driveway. I'm not going up in there. I got one that's going to sue me for a slip and fall. I got one that's going to leave me on death row. Then one is going to pass all my money on to children I don't even like. See, I can't have all that stuff.
So there you go. You can create an estate plan and pass your money to people you like.
Okay, that's where we go.
Your children that you don't like. So
There you go.
it's help you there.
Thank you. You need to do better what you're doing, Dahlia. I'm just saying. So here's my question for you. What inspired you to become an estate planning attorney?
So, like you know, I did personal injury for some time, and then I had a family member who had a stroke.
Okay.
And I had to step in and do everything for her. She had me as her power of attorney, her healthcare power of attorney. And when she had a stroke and she was paralyzed and she needed to do more procedures, I had doctors like, you know, just her life is not worth saving, leave her to die. And I'm like, that's not her wishes. I didn't realize how important estate planning is until that situation happened, and it just really. I felt like this is what I really want to do.
No, you know, because I come from a different era. You know, my late mother handled my father's estate per the instructions of his lawyer and will at the time. So do you still need, does it still work the same way? You have to have the estate, the will, then the estate, or is it the estate, then the will, or is it a combination of both?
So in order for you to for your assets to pass to your loved ones, you don't need a will.
Oh,
if you don't have a will, if you don't have a will, the state has specific laws, but these laws may not serve you.
Oh, okay.
So it's important to express your wishes in a will or a trust now. There's more elaborate planning with a trust, but the basic would be to create a will. And estate planning is not just about creating a will, it's about creating a plan if you become incapacitated as well. We have a lot of people who get dementia who are,
Oh, yeah.
you know, alive, but they're not alive. So who do you want to represent you if you get into that situation?
And as a matter of fact, I was talking to my best friend yesterday in Los Angeles. His mother-in-law, she's Alzheimer's. She's actually going into an Alzheimer's care unit now,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And come to find out that her estate is an absolute mess. And what makes it a mess is, I won't mention his name, but he used to be a professional franchise owner, her brother. Well, she had interest in that. So now her percentage is just kind of out there. This is California. I'm from California, so it's a mess. So it's just out there in the universe for the state to decide. And that happened to me as a young child when my father passed away. He had things that were set up, but he had other things that weren't set up, and California dictated how everything happened from that point on. So it's really, and I pride you on that, because protecting one's assets and protecting where the allocation of those assets go is very, very important nowadays, especially when you have the proliferation of dementia and Alzheimer's, and, you know, accidents happen, you know, where, you know, hospitalizations, they're incapacitated. So people need to know how that works. So what's one of the biggest misconceptions about estate planning that you encounter, Dahlia?
So a lot of people don't want to think about their death, especially parents with young kids. So some people say, you know, I don't have an estate, I don't have much money. Why do I need to create an estate plan?
Right.
But they don't realize that in order for them to name guardians for their children, it needs to be in their will. Okay?
Oh, wow.
And if you don't name guardians for your kids, then a judge that has no idea who your family is
Right.
is going to name guardians for you. So who wants to do that? Especially if both, you know, spouses pass away, and it does happen. And then you can have the families, the two different families, fighting over the kids, right? And it's just a really big mess. It's so wonderful when parents just, you know, get their act together and put a plan of action, just in case they're not there to take care of their kids.
Now, when you, how much, you know, before we're going to take a break, because you're not going anywhere since you decided to leave me on death row and be late to the show, okay? So, so how do you bridge the conversation to make them comfortable enough to understand the importance of this?
So I tell them, you know, estate planning is an act of love. If
Okay.
you really love your children, we put so much effort into planning, like to research the best daycare, the best babysitters, and we
Right.
do background checks. We do so much, but realize that there can be a time where you're not there to protect your kids. So who will? And it's like getting an insurance policy. You don't want to die, but you do that just to protect your children.
Yeah.
You know, if you go away, there's money for them. So it's an important conversation to have.
Okay, well, we're having a very important conversation with our good friend Dahlia Anise, estate planning attorney extraordinaire, you know, not death row.
So I do have, I have a question. So
Oh, well, hold that
most
question. We got to
families-
take a break. Hold that question. We got to take a break.
Okay.
Take a break.
Okay.
Take a break. Dahlia, don't you go nowhere. Don't move.
Okay.
Don't move. Okay.
Are you looking for the best mortgage loans available nationwide? Welcome to My Mortgage Inc. Led by award-winning mortgage expert Jennifer Nina, with expertise in both Florida and Texas markets, and a national team for all your mortgage needs, now you can borrow with confidence. Whether buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you deserve the very best mortgage solutions available, whether it's for new construction, luxury, or an investment property. As a long-time mortgage specialist, Jennifer has built her lender reputation on getting the deal done. And you want to know the best part? By Working with Jennifer and My Mortgage Inc., you gain access to the REU RMG, an international, invitation-only multimedia platform offering exclusive real estate buying and selling resources, business alliances, and so much more. Doesn't get better than that. My Mortgage Inc. We treat your mortgage like our mortgage. Find out more information at yourmortgagepro.biz today.
Hi, I'm Tish Sotelo of Globally Tish. I'm the host of the REU Lifestyle segment. Every Saturday, I will be sharing with you everything that's hot in real estate, food, fashion, fun, and travel. I will be going from different locations, showing you where our RMG collectives have listings. I will be going from place to place, showing you what's hot in real estate, where the best places to eat, the best places to shop, as well as kind of just what's going on in our city. I love everything lifestyle, and I want to share everything that's so exciting about this city, other cities in the surrounding areas, as well as nationwide, and sometimes internationally. I'm so excited to share all of this hot, new, yummy stuff with you. Join me every Saturday on the REU Lifestyle segment.
Osborne Advisors, the official commercial mortgage company for the Real Estate You Show, Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Central on the Global Live Network, www.ruworldwide.com. For all your commercial real estate mortgage needs, go to www.ruloan.com for both commercial real estate and business loans nationwide. 800-460-9165. That's 800-460-9165.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
All right, I'm E.L. Crane. We're joined by Jennifer Nina of My Mortgage Inc., Dahlia Anise, our estate planning real estate attorney, and actually Tony Soprano's favorite real estate attorney. Estate planning attorney. Okay, because that Jersey thing.
I have to say, you guys are awesome. You just livened up my day, my Saturday for sure.
So Miss Jennifer, since I'm scared of you, you was getting ready to ask Dahlia a question. So please go ahead and ask it so I can stay on your good side.
Well, yes. So when I think of estate planning, I'm thinking, okay, I have to have all these assets and all this planning or money. Is that the case when a family, like most families right now, are very diverse, right? So you have his and hers. So,
Yes.
At what point should a family start thinking about this?
They should start thinking about it. So anybody over 18 is an adult. And if you really need to have control, any type of control of what happens to your assets, you need to be thinking about estate planning. Specifically, you're talking about blended families.
Yes.
So when it comes to blended families and something happens to one of the spouses, you could literally be disinheriting your children. With creating trusts, you can get so creative and create a plan. And I say you could literally control your assets from the grave. It's not about how much assets you have. It's about what you want to, how do you want your legacy to be remembered? Who do you want to get your stuff? Okay, so specifically for blended families, I always recommend creating a trust because it gives you so much flexibility as to, how your assets should be divided.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. See, that reminded me when my father and my mother, stepfather. They were all entrepreneurs and they had business and stuff like that. And my father, let's just say, he had more than all of them. He would always threaten me and my siblings all the time. Keep on. I'm gonna write a check to myself and take all my money with me.
I wish that was the case, but that doesn't happen.
But we believe him, dog.
And what I understand is that I guess every time I hear the planning situation is because if we don't do this upon our death, the state takes control of our assets, and now we have to wait for somebody to decide who's getting what.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So it goes through the probate process, and that could take from 6 months to a year. And when someone passes away and they have assets in their own name, like a bank account gets locked.
That's right.
Okay? And the money cannot be used for anything. So imagine if you have minor children or you have bills for that person, or if there's a home and the upkeep of the home, who's going to take care of that? But if you create a trust, and that person is a trustee of their own trust, and they pass away, there's always contingent trustees where they just step in. They don't need court orders. Things can go so much smoother when you create a trust.
And that's absolutely correct, because some of my father's accounts were locked because they weren't a part of his will. Because my father, back then, his whole thing was, I took care of my family, boom, in the will, but he never thought about what happens to the businesses, what happens to the business bank accounts and stuff like that. So you're very, very, very correct in regard to that planning component to make sure people are protected, not just from the things that you can see, but those things you can't see. Because we couldn't see the business part. We could see the family part, but we couldn't see the business plan part. And back then, it took 2 years to reconcile my father's estate through the state of California. It took 2 years, and when they finally did it, they cut.
For sure.
They got their cut.
So yeah, for sure. And like I said, it is an act of love, and this is why it's important, because there are these websites where you can create your own plan. Okay, but you just put in some information and it creates some documents for you. Whereas when you go to talk to an attorney, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So the attorney brings up they ask a lot of questions, probing questions, and give the individual a lot of things to think about and to consider.
Okay. So, Dolly, in your history, what was kind of the biggest challenge that you faced as an estate planning attorney?
So, sometimes you have parents who don't agree on the guardians, but a big challenge that I had is for husband and wife that came in, and I felt like they really had no trust for each other. Okay.
Wow.
Which is a very difficult situation because they're naming each other. The power of attorney is a very powerful document.
Yes, it is.
That you're giving someone access to a lot of things. And it's sometimes you can't help everybody, and you got to make sure that they both trust each other, and there needs to be that trust for them to name each other as power of attorney and so forth. So that was a challenging situation.
You can possibly create a divorce.
Yes, it did not end that way, but I just told them, I gave them some things to consider. And they went back and forth, and we're still talking. They're still thinking about it, and we're still talking. But that's a challenge right there.
I created divorces without all that. I'm just saying.
It's just a piece of pie.
There you go. I am designated as Mr. Adorable, truth be told. Okay. Okay, now, Dolly, what happens when somebody dies without an estate plan these days? Does it get convoluted and stretched out? I understand about the probate, but how can you make them understand, like you said, it's an act of love. I like that statement. That's really, really good. It's an act of love to put things in motion to protect your loved ones. But when they die without an estate plan, is there any way to overcome that?
No, it just has to go through the state law. Without an estate plan, if you pass away, the state dictates what happens to your assets. If you get incapacitated without an estate plan, once you're incapacitated, you can't sign any documents.
That's true.
They're not legal documents. So what happens, your loved ones have to get guardianship over you, which is a very humiliating thing, that you're considered a child now, but there's also a lot of court proceedings. Sometimes they put a guardian ad litem responsible for you that saps away a lot of the assets, your assets, and so there's a whole lot of stories and like horrible stories of situations like that. So I say, create it while you have capacity. Put down your wishes, what you would like to happen to you,
right?
And move forward.
Let's see now. That statement right there, and I'm being serious but silly at the same time, right? It reminds me of a blues song, and it says this: my mother says she loves me, but she might be jiving too. So why should I trust you, Mr. or Mrs.?
Well, I mean, but
it's true though.
It's true, but then again, it's one of those things that why then go into a marriage if there's no trust?
Right.
It's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah, I understand that at some point people are going to, people are their own people. But then that's the point of why I think so many marriages fail, because there is not that trust there.
Okay, see, you're speaking to somebody who used to be married to the Antichrist. Let's start right there. Okay? So you can't sell me that.
So I will tell you, there are, trustees, professional trustees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some banks, but they require a high net worth. And I also know certain like CPAs that will step in as trustees, as contingent trustees. If something happens to you and you don't have anybody to name as someone that would take your place, I know other people that would. But it's also at a cost. So.
Okay. So outside of being Tony Soprano's estate planner and the estate planner for all of the criminals in Goodfellas, okay, what makes you, what sets you apart from other estate planning attorneys?
Okay. Well, I look at it in a different way. So my clients, if you could, I correlate it to a primary care physician, right? Okay. Primary care, everybody, you go to your primary care physician, and then if they see that you have, your high blood pressure or your sugar levels are elevated, or you need a cardiologist, they'll send you there. So I don't just draft the documents and they sign and goodbye and we're done, but they look at me as their family attorney, where they can come to me for any, not just, legal advice, things just that happen, crisis in their life. They come and we talk, and I, give them the advice or send them to someone that can help them.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say this in all honesty. You are the most pleasant attorney I've ever spoken to.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, because, when I hear attorney, I normally run to the other side, okay? But I'm being serious here. You are very pleasant, and
she's very caring.
Yeah, and just like it's that, and I guess because I had this convoluted opinion on the attorney thing, I never really spent much time on estate planning. My estate planning was set up I used to play ball, by my agent, okay? So he probably hired an estate attorney to do it, but he was an attorney as well. So it's different to hear it from your perspective on how you represent the client, how you embrace the client, and how you're like their go-to person. I love the analogy of primary care physician, and I'm your primary care attorney, and then I can allocate, or I can introduce you to those other aspects that you need. So I appreciate that. So Miss Dahlia Anise, How does the Real Estate You show clientele and listenership and viewership get in contact with you?
They can call me, they can email me, whatever works for them.
Would you like to share that information?
Sure.
Don't make no.
Sure.
We was doing all right, Dahlia, until you just sit there with no information. Come on.
All right. They can call me. My office number is 561-562-1517. They could email me at dalia@legacyandlifeplan.com. I'm located in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm also available through, in-person meetings or Zoom meetings, whatever makes them feel comfortable. And,
Okay. Now, see, this is our good friend Dahlia Niece. She's a friend of mine. She's not a friend of Jennifer. She's a friend of mine. Even though she left me on death row for 3 months extra, okay, other than that, I have forgiven her because Jennifer knows I can hold a grudge with the best of them,
Thank
okay?
you.
Yes, Nadia is also going to be joining us January 15th in our seminar, how to create wealth through real estate.
Oh, that's true. She's going to be there. So, Dahlia, but I'm really shy. You just have no idea how shy I am. Listen, my
Yes, I can tell.
yeah, my shyness is legendary. I'm just letting you know. Well,
Yes, I can see.
Dahlia, thank you for joining us today. I look forward to meeting you in
thank you
person
for
in
having me.
January, and
Yes.
we're gonna be raising hell on your behalf. And because now you are a contributor to the Real Estate You Show on REUWorldwide.com, so we are going to be referencing you in regard to estate planning going
Thank you
forward.
so much. I appreciate it. Thank
You
for
have a
having me.
wonderful rest of the weekend,
You too.
and
You too.
I'll let you know if I need bail.
Okay, I'll
Her
so you
son,
come to
her
me
son
and I'll
is a
send you to
criminal
my
attorney.
son.
There you go.
There you
Have
go.
a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.